Hey
Yeah,
man, that's what the tissue's for. I'm not picking it. I'm blowing it.
little
All the air
nuggets.
just little nugget,
Yeah, little golden nuggets.
little gold nuggets coming out, man. Shining in the tissue, just shining.
Uh, oh man.
Hip, how you doing the intro?
I think we're
Let-
just
let-
gonna. I mean, I know I'm gonna break down halfway through the intro just because I'm in my mind. I'm still just thinking golden nuggets.
uh,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Unconfirmed Podcast. I'm here with Isaiah, and this time we have a special guest. We have. Oh God, I can't. There you go. There's your golden nuggets.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh, oh no.
Alright, but today we are with the very talented artist, Project Art, or Jen, or I don't know, whatever you want us to call you.
Yeah, so no worries. It's my name's Jenica, but it's always easier to either call me Jen. For some people have now started calling me Project. So I don't know.
Welcome to
Whatever
the
is
show.
easiest.
Yes,
Thank
How you
you.
doing?
Appreciate it. Excited.
I think this is the first streamer that we've had that isn't a game-based.
Game focused streamer. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow,
very
this is a
interesting.
milestone. This is a milestone for us too. Jesus.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to get into gaming. Got to figure that one out first, though. Gotta figure out a few things on my streaming and get better equipment.
Well, yeah, you just got
yeah.
started.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta
But-
start.
Just got started, so it's fine. Like you gotta figure some things out, anyways.
Yeah.
But the first question I want to ask you is, how did you get started? For the people who don't know, on how you got started, since you recently started, so it's like still like fresh in your mind on how you decided to come to Twitch and decided to start doing art on Twitch.
Yeah, so actually how it started was I because of COVID, the whole crisis and everything like that, there was I was left without a job. But I knew how to do some design work. I knew how to do some digital design. And also I also knew that there wasn't going to be an influx of new cam girls onto some very adult sites. So I decided to take that opportunity to actually utilize some of my skills and help them out. And as I got to know some of these models a little bit more and about that, about that industry, one of them recommended to me, they're like, hey, if you really enjoy this, why don't you try out Twitch? And I said, okay. So I didn't know what Twitch was, to be quite honest. I thought Twitch was like a drug or something just because off the name of it, right? So I took a
Popular
look
Twitch.
at it. I was like, okay, cool. I recognize a few people because I follow them on Instagram. I'm a huge cosplayer fan. I don't actually do cosplay, but I enjoy it. Took a look at it and was like, all right, cool. And then I saw category like the art category, and I took a look at that, and I was, oh, I could do that. I can stream my art, and I could actually start to take my art and turn it into something. Um, and try to gain a following and try to gain exposure that way. So that's actually how I got started into Twitch. It's from a cam girl.
It's an interesting start. It's a very, very interesting start.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot of stories from different people on how they started. That one's very interesting.
Yeah. And when it comes to the universe of streaming, it's like, I mean, I definitely knew of the adult industry, but wasn't aware of anything else kind of under that or that was, more related to the younger crowd. And that's when I got exposed to Twitch and I was like, oh, this seems safe. Let's do this.
This seems a bit more safe than the other
Yeah.
sites. It seems not as risky.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely not quite as risky. It is really cool though, and to see people make a living off of Twitch, I think is one of the most fascinating things. When I take a look at people like Amaranth, she streams her entire life from her going into the pool, from her cooking, from her sleeping on stream.
Mhm.
Her entire life is on there. And so I
It's
was like, oh,
on. It's live for people to see.
100%.
Every second.
Yeah.
It's
And
funny. It's funny that you bring that up because I actually wanted to ask you, what do you want from Twitch since you got started on Twitch? Like, what
mm,
do you have any expectations or anything you would like to achieve with Twitch, or is it just like you're just starting and see what happens? Or
I actually went into Twitch with the mindset that I'm going to make this into a source of income for me. So I went in there with two goals primarily. First goal was to give exposure to my art and hopefully start my art business with that by selling my canvas art, any sort of print works that I'm going to come down the pipeline with, and really kind of show people the process, because I think that's one of the coolest things as an artist is to show people the process of how your art is created. The other one is I hate being strapped to a desk looking um, at Excel sheets doing what corporate America wants me to do. I have a very hard time dealing with that. I'm a rebel at heart.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I wanted to see if I can make this into a source of income, and I know that's going to be difficult right off the bat. I already know that's going to be difficult. So,
Yeah,
but that's the two goals out of this.
yeah, take some time. Like obviously, but the way you got started with it, like the way your community is growing is actually like pretty it's not a stretch to say like maybe in the near future you could make this a source of income. Like it's not like something like a miracle is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like I could see it happening because the way you're growing on your stream with your art streams, and then just like you're just chattings with like with your dog and stuff. Like
Yeah.
people are enjoying what you're doing, so it wouldn't be like that much of a stretch to say, oh yeah, I could make an income off of this.
Yeah, I know a lot of people on there, and just from reading other blogs from other people who are Twitch streamers, a lot of them say, hey, don't go into this thinking that this is going to be your primary source of income, right? Like, you have to be able to be approachable, you have to be able to be friendly, you actually have to be really consistent. And
Mm-hmm.
consistency is going to be the hardest one for me out of anything. I, it's people that are able to do that are actually able to create an income. And it's going to be slow at first. And they always say, like, you should always have another job in conjunction with streaming, right? Because at least having a job is going to be stable, or at least more consistent of cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
As streaming, it might not always be. You might not always get that donation. You might not always get that subscriber goal every week, or however often it happens.
Yeah.
But with COVID, that makes things a little difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have all this time now, or not all this time, but like you have time now to start streaming. But then once this gets resolved, you'll be back in like the busy like more busy lifestyle to make time for streaming for the consistency to pick up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and part of the reason, like for me, for COVID, before I even touched on Twitch, I was supposed to travel around the world. I was supposed to do travel photography, travel journalism. I had a lot of contracts to go around and travel the world and take photos of vineyards and sake houses and distilleries. And then COVID hit, and then all of a sudden, all of my contracts, all of the cash flow I was going to start getting went
Mm-hmm.
completely out underneath me. So I was like, well, we're
Well,
stranded.
I'm gonna stream instead. You know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity. Do this.
Yeah.
Um, I also want to ask you, even though you're a new streamer, there's also people who haven't started streaming who want to start streaming. I was wondering if you have any advice for someone, because since you've seen like other people's streams and like you streamed recently and stuff, like you've kind of gotten more into the community. I want to know what advice could you give for like a brand new streamer, like someone who's like still hasn't streamed yet, thinking about it, and doesn't know where to start.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question. I I know a lot of people are just going to say you just need a camera You just need to turn it on and just stream, right? That
Hmm.
I kind of disagree with that. I kind of think
Hmm.
have a game plan, kind of figure out what things you want to talk about, what things you want to show. And I took a lot of time to sit there and do that in terms of my art. It's like, do I really want to stream my art? Are people actually going to find this entertaining? Are they going to find me entertaining? What aspects am I willing to share with people? I think it's important to write down that list first before you even consider streaming, and take a look to see if you can actually do that. The other thing that I spent a lot of time on for Twitch is creating panels and the in the bio area. You know
Yeah.
how you have that area underneath. I
Hmm.
did want mine to look as if I was kind of a streamer that's been there for a while. I didn't want to look so new with nothing underneath there. I wanted something to be substantial in there. So I really put forth emphasis on trying to create that. Um, and then I decided to stream. That's
Yeah.
then I decided.
Yeah. When Isaiah first showed me your channel, like as soon as I showed up, I was like, I thought that you had been streaming for quite some time, and I was like, because I was like, all right, so she's probably been here for quite a bit of time. This makes sense. But now you're saying that you started since COVID and quarantine. So
I
yeah,
think I've only twitched now for maybe 2 weeks. I'm brand spanking new. I'm
yeah,
fresh out the womb new.
Yeah, yeah, she's brand new. Like the craziest part is how I found Jen. It was a night I did a just chatting for the first time like the night before I came into your stream, and I was like, oh, I should get into like the just chatting community, and her title was my first stream ever. So I was like, click,
I mean, you
hello,
have
hey,
to.
you have to like first stream ever. You're intrigued. You're like, okay, what? Woo, this is brand new. Let me see this. So I clicked. I started talking to her. Very friendly, very kind, and ever since then, she's just been continuously streaming. It's been growing at a nice rate, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised by that. It's really cool. I know, truth be told, there's a person who works in the adult industry. Her name is Jedi Queenie.
Fire name,
She,
fire name.
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
That's a fire name. Oh my god.
She does like a lot of lingerie like cosplay sets. The one that she most recently did was Darth Vader. She does like a lot of Star Wars lingerie themed shoots, and that's initially why I followed her. I was like, yes, I love people that do this, right?
Yeah.
um I followed her Twitch journey. She started right at the time that I did. Now, granted, she's in the adult industry, and I had to be very mindful not to base my progress off of how she's doing. She already had like 120,000 or some odd followers on Twitter and on Instagram and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
When she started on Twitch, she grew to the affiliate within days. It's going to take me probably about another week or so before I can even apply.
Hmm.
It's important, I think, for any new streamer, and I have to remind myself this every day, that I can't base my progress off of other streamers because we all grow at our own rate, and some streamers are new with already an established community off of some other platform. So
Yeah. It's just about like if you're growing a community off of Twitch, and someone else is just starting Twitch, basing it off of, let's say that Twitter has like, I don't know, like a thousand followers, like 2,000 followers, they're already gonna have like let's say like for each like 100, there's like one or two people who come in. They
yeah,
already have like five to six people already coming in, already following, already subscribing. If they really support you, out of like
yeah,
2,000 people. So again, yeah, for anyone who's listening, you can't base like if someone starts streaming like brand new, but they've kind of carried their community from another platform to Twitch, you can't really base your progress off of that because then people just like, people who follow them on Twitter either have a Twitch account or they made one just to follow the person that you're comparing yourself to. But even comparisons, just don't compare yourself really to anybody. It's not the best thing. I was actually reading on Reddit the other day. Um, this guy, he was doing fitness streams, like fitness cycling, right? And he was asking if he lost all his viewers by shouting out another streamer who does the same thing. Or and then he was contemplating if he should continue streaming or if he should just drop it. And I found it really interesting because um, the person he shouted out started around the same time as him. They do the same exact thing. They have the same setup, everything. But I didn't check out the channels, but I was just assuming like from like my perspective, I'm just assuming that maybe the other guy is a bit more engaging or does more and does, like there always could be a little something that's different about someone else that you can't see at surface level. I can't talk. That people want to interact with more. But you can't just sit there. You shouted him out. You can't just sit there and envy him for
Oh,
for what he's doing. Just kind of like mutually accept, succeed together, and then just find out different ways to grow. It's simple as that. I just envy on Twitch is just a horrible thing. And then if you can turn off your viewers, that's a big help too, I find.
yeah, I find for myself is just to I do check in to see who's in the chat. Because that's the one thing that can be a little awkward for people is to literally stream with no one in your room.
Mm,
But the biggest piece of advice that I could give to anyone starting off on their first stream um, is just say hello, just say hi, welcome. Even if they might not respond, if you see that somebody else new does come into the room and they're not saying anything, but you see them in the chat,
hmm.
um, just say hi. Saying hi is it's human interaction, man.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit there in front
That's the
of
biggest.
your camera. Yeah, say hi. We all like to be acknowledged. Like people are probably wondering, oh, how can she see me? Ha ha ha. Guess what? I
Yeah.
can see everything.
Yeah. I can see all the viewers. I can see all the lurkers.
Yeah. So in that sense, like a normal human being, say hi. It's okay. Say hi, talk about yourself, talk to the screen if you're playing a game, saying,
Hmm.
"Oh, I effed this up. Damn it, I shouldn't have double clicked." Like constantly have that flow of conversation going is probably better than just sitting silent unless you're trying to do ASMR.
Yeah.
Say
But
something.
but like I feel like the best is just like what I did personally, like more recently, I turned off the viewers and I just act like you just kind of like not tell yourself, but just present yourself, I guess, as like there's like three people in here. And you're just like kind of just commentary over what you're doing. Instead of
Yeah.
just sitting there and then waiting till someone says, hey, then you just talk to them one on one. You know what I mean? Because then someone else might
Yeah.
join and then not feel that same connection when they join in.
No, you do something that I absolutely love. You use Discord to your advantage when you're streaming, Isaiah, and you're talking to other either people who are currently streaming or they might not even be online, but they're still playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maya. Maya does like you guys just your banter across each other cracks
Oh
me up.
god.
It is so funny, and I love hearing it. I do like I might not be the best, interactor typer, but I am sitting there in the background
Yeah.
painting, and I'm like cracking up at some of the things you guys say to each other. I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
I feel
it's
like
so entertaining.
it's funny because like is it first so the stream she's talking about is like the Osu stream, if anybody's
Yeah,
watching.
yeah,
If anyone's wondering, I should say. So it was Maya, aka Lin Fong's first time playing Osu, and it was the most interesting experience because we just kind of like not argued, but like kind of like we're like she would like miss one, she'd be like, "Man, I failed." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks. I didn't."
yeah. You guys can see
and
each other's
and then I just keep going. She's like, "How the heck do you have like 500,000?" I'm just like, I'm playing a little bit longer. Like it's our first day, so I can't be like, oh yeah, I'm just super good. I'm super talented. No, I've been playing for like months, so
yeah.
obviously it's not gonna be like. but she's been doing better. She's been doing good. And I feel like since you brought that up, I feel like the more I guess the more opinions or like voices you have in your stream, the better. I'm not saying like have like 1,000 people on your stream at once. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, if you have like two to three friends in a Discord call, even though you're not playing the same game, even though you're not doing the same thing, it just makes the experience a bit better because again, it's like a YouTube video. People like that kind of like human interaction where like you watch a funny YouTube video and it's like three guys on Gmod or three guys on um Minecraft is doing stupid things and then you find it funny and then you laugh and you share it to your friend and it's just that the interaction between people is the best part.
That one of the other things too is that, and I just thought about this. If anybody is considering streaming and they want to into the stream, Twitch community, see if there's a friend that you might want to do with. It might help ease off that uncomfortability, that uneasiness of talking to an empty room. As long as you're able to talk to another person or something, like having another person's always helpful. It makes it a little bit more comfortable,
Oh yeah. I remember like when I streamed by myself, it really did feel very uncomfortable in settings just playing by myself. But then as soon as me and Isaiah started playing like Minecraft together, it started to become very easy and um, fun to continue to play for several hours on end.
Yeah.
It's just that having that extra person might also help. Just let you continue to constantly play and not get bored of yourself kind of
And
situation.
just enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just enjoy playing for like, I don't know how long you're gonna stream, like 3 to 6 hours, for example.
Yeah.
If you like, instead of because let's say you're playing by yourself, right? Or you're streaming by yourself. If you're just talking and there's no one there for an hour, you're gonna get sick of it. Easily, you're just gonna get sick of it
Yeah.
because like you're just gonna be sitting there, no one's talking, you're not talking, you're just sitting there. You're like, oh, okay, and you just end it. You're over it. You're like, man, I never seen streamed. Just start it by having either one having like a friend to stream with, or even going into like game chat. If you're playing games, I should say. If you're playing games,
Yeah.
go into like game chat or have a friend to play with. If you're not playing games, then even like um, call up a friend and be like, hey, I'm gonna stream and just talk to you while I do this. Is that fine? Yeah, sure. And you guys just talk about whatever.
Yeah, it definitely helps with that ease of conversation and with uh, eliminating that element of awkwardness. I think that's one of the other pieces of advice that I've never seen across any blog or any advice that I've ever seen, to bring
Exclusive.
that element. Yeah, like bring in a friend, and it's going to be awkward. I did talk to a lot of cam girls. Um, I was just helping them do their graphic design and design work for them. And we would have to talk via Skype or via Zoom or whatever it was. And one of their biggest concerns, because I asked them like a slew of questions about what their biggest fears doing this thing was, and they were like talking to an empty room. And I was like, oh, well, I'll try to support you. And it was like I'll hang out in that room anonymously, and I will chat with you and say hi and try to make it easy, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the biggest things with streaming is in your first initial steps is learning how to get over those little speed bumps of how do you have a conversation with an empty room? How do you have a conversation with just one person? How do you have a conversation with five people? And then it just evolves from there. And then you realize, like, how the fuck do I have a conversation with 1,000 people that are
Yeah.
messaging me all at the same time? Like,
And the chat's just like overflowing with messages. You can't even see one
yeah,
message.
yeah.
That's just the growth at that point.
It's growth, but these are challenges.
Hmm.
I think if people do want to become streamers, one of the most important about streaming is, yeah, you don't have to put your face on there. I personally choose to, but like you have to have some sort of interaction, some sort of acknowledgement that that person in that chat exists.
Yeah.
We all want to know that we're here
I'm
amongst
present.
such
I'm here.
yeah, amongst a group of like 1,000 people. That's not happening.
Yeah, like it's like a hey maybe, you know? It's like a if
Yeah,
I see your message kind of hey.
yeah, much, yeah.
All right, now,
Um oh
um,
go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
well, do you have anything else to say?
No, I was gonna I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
ask questions, so go ahead.
All right, no, I was wondering. So you said you did some graphic design, and I'm wondering if you ever were thinking about streaming, like doing some digital art or anything like that.
I have a love-hate for digital art.
Oh,
I like I do like graphic design to a degree. I know of a few graphic artists who are straight out phenomenal. I do not know how they create those masterpieces the way they do. Digital art, I'm playing with it. Like I'm creating my own emotes right now. My emotes are going to be about my dog. So that's going to be super exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Um, I personally, it's for like an artist, it's really difficult for me to translate how I want my art to be on a digital screen for a few reasons. Number one, I can hit the undo button on digital art. If I don't like how that circle looks, I can delete it. I paint a circle on a canvas. That shit's stuck there until it's dry or until I can paint over it. So either I work with it or I have to wait. So to me, there's a level of commitment that I have to put and a little bit more of like critical thinking, at least on my end, for doing just traditional art. The other issue that I have is that I love working on big canvases. So working on a smaller little tablet is really difficult for me. Um, you can get serious amount of detail in those in digital art. I am playing with it. Is it something I'll be able to master? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know my forte is with traditional art.
True. I feel like digital art could be it's very like I think it's not tedious, but like because I'm doing graphic design like right now, and not doing like crazy graphic design, but just like I'm scanning like postcards and stuff, and like kind of using those to make kind of some different types of designs. But I find like with graphic design, of digital design at least, you could second guess yourself a lot more than if it's traditional because traditional I feel like once you have the idea, you have the canvas, you're going for it. With digital, I feel like you could see one thing and okay, I'm scrapping this whole thing, I'm restarting it.
Yeah, my problem with the digital art, and digital design, even to creating graphic design, I erase things all the time. If I were to do that on a canvas, that's going to cost me so much money. Can't do that. So I hit the undo button all the time. I erase things all the time. With traditional art, we're stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have commitment issues to a very worrying level. When it comes to art, commitment issues, not a problem. Shit stays. Traditional art. So
Yeah, because with digital, it's like you can just undo it. Like if you see like one little blemish, like with the let's say you make like let's say you make a face for example, right? And you see one blemish, you could undo it. But then I feel like with traditional art, you if you're stuck with that, it gives you like more skill to make things work. And with digital, you can just undo it and restart. I'm not saying like digital art. Obviously, it's like easier than traditional art. I'm just saying like the the making things work aspect is more on traditional than digital.
yeah, truth be told, I probably saved myself thousands and thousands of dollars if I were to focus on digital art. I just don't think I would have that same passion and that same, I guess, philosophy of art when it comes to that. So, yeah, traditional art is more my style, but I do give it out to those that are able to do amazing. I'm literally talking like, holy cow, I can't believe you even created this.
Mm.
Digital art that's just mind blowing. Love it. But it's just not my forte. I
Yeah.
am using it for remotes.
And then like you were saying about like commitment to these things, I can understand that because I don't know how many characters versions of this character I've designed for um my logo that's still sitting in my computer, but I'm halfway there and then I leave it. I don't touch it. While I feel like having a traditional art is almost like it's there, it's physical. You'll notice it instead of a single file or or whatever just sitting inside my computer.
Yeah, for me, like I'm looking at my honey bear piece right now, and if I think about all the steps that I had to take to get to that finished product, um, there are mistakes that I made during that process I had to just accept. I was like, you know what? That's not the way that I wanted that to look. Let me work around it. And then somehow it just blends in or it pops out. Just there's something very there's something I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but there's a stronger connection for me to that piece. Um, Whereas if I were to make like 50 different copies of that same piece in digital art, and I would have to like be like, oh, I like this one. Oh, but I like the green in this one more. I wouldn't be able to do it.
It begins to
It
lose that connection.
yeah. You know, Bon wants to be a part of the podcast now.
Hey man, shout out to Bomb. Let's be honest, cutest dog on the stream.
He's such a brat sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Right now, all he wants to do is just cuddle.
He's like, I need attention now.
Does, dude, and it is extreme sometimes. He like this morning, he woke me up. He was like, "Yeah, hey, I'm gonna stand on your chest today." It's like, oh God,
No, please,
65-pound dog. I can't breathe. Oh,
please. My
yeah,
best. I can't.
yeah. It
my
was
my
literally
dog
what it was like.
just snores as loud as
Oh
possible.
yeah. Your dog just snores. Hell, you think that's a grown man snoring in the back?
What type of dog do you have?
She's a English bulldog.
Oh, what cutie. My dog would like that. That's the dog that recently attacked my dog a few days ago.
Oh well.
Yeah. But I love all dogs. I really do.
All right. Should we go ahead and do our streamers of the week?
Oh yes, sir. I actually have a good one this week. I have a really good one this week. Who wants to go first? You want to go first? Yep.
Um, yeah, sure. Let me pull it up real quick because I forgot it's his name. His
Oh
name
well.
is. I mean, he's good. He's good. He plays a lot of.
He's solid. He's good. He's a good streamer.
He plays a lot of VR chat. His name is Soul underscore Reader, like Reiter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he plays a lot of VR chat. I think he played some. I forgot what the game was called, but it's like a Souls type game. But make sure to check him out. We'll put him on the screen
Right about now.
Yeah. Post edit hip coming in.
Post edit hip coming in with the visuals. If you're on the audio format, check out YouTube channel. My streamer of the week is Pool Dad Music. He streams baking, like IRL baking, Animal Crossing, Nintendo 64 games, like soccer, like the old soccer games. Quiplash. Just a nice variations of stuff. Like he does IRL stuff. He does games, mostly does Animal Crossing, like Donkey Kong and stuff like that. So definitely go check him out. He'll be on the screen right about now. Yeah, pretty good streamer. Jen, do you have a streamer of the week? Anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, Absolute Ama. AMA, Absolute Ama. I'm a huge fan of her artwork. She also plays like really rad music in the background. So if ever you just want to lurk and watch art or just have good music, she's one of those people. I love her use of gouache, which is an art medium. It's like an opaque watercolor, and not very many artists use it, but she does a phenomenal job of that. So I'm a big fan of her. I'm gonna give her a shout out.
There you go. Hit put on the screen right about now.
All of them.
All of them on the screen. Right, all of them on the screen.
All of them.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Since we just set them all of them on the screen at the same time. Boom. Anyways, guys, go check out those streamers. Go check out Jen.
Yes, big shout out.
Big shout out, Jen. We'll leave her link in the description with the streamers of the week. If you're on the audio format, check out the YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel, check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. Thank you, Jen. For being
Thank
on the show.
you guys. I feel honored. I'm not even an affiliate yet.
Hey, by the time this come out, you about to be affiliate, swear to God.
Yeah. So close. 6 more. 6 more.
6 more. So everyone who's listening, watching, go check out Jen. Hop on the YouTube channel. Links in the description. And we'll see you guys later.
So thank you guys. I appreciate it.